Hi, this is Brandon Split from thirstgym.com, and today we're talking about exercise called the Sumo deadlift off blocks versus chains. This is a great exercise to develop the lockout part of your Sumo deadlift. What you're going to need to do this exercise, you're going to need blocks, mats, something to elevate the plates off the floor. There's going to be less range of motion. Then you need a way to hook up chains. We've got chain mates. These are great. These are nice. You just put on the bar like a collar and then slide the chains through there and they stay on there. It's great. You can also put the chains over the bar, either between your stands or outside your stands or on the outside, or you can get easy loaders from Elite FTS. Those are great as well. They just hook on there and then hook onto the bar, and you don't have to worry about them being in the way as much. So you got a couple different options how to set up your chains. And the reason I really like this exercise is because it takes the leg drive out of the deadlift from a Sumo perspective just a little bit by having the blocks. I've already talked about the banded version of this. You can check out that video. Very similar, but we're just going to use chains instead. So the real reason I like chains on the deadlift is that I feel that it forces the grind to be better. So a lot of times when you're pulling up against bands, you'll hit that spot. I mean, you basically know you're done and you stop. Where with chains, it's way more gradual. It feels a little more fluid. And so there, it gives you the ability to fight a little bit longer as the chains are slowly coming off the ground. Where that band, it's so elastic. It comes so fast and it just hits you, where you don't see that as much with the chains. But from a benefit standpoint, everything else is basically the same. So I'm going to take my Sumo deadlift stance here. Again, I want to make sure my chest is good and tall, and then my arms stay good and long. I've got about 2-inch blocks here. So again, plenty well below my knee. We just want to make sure that this bar is not way above my knee, because we're going to try to work on the lockout and getting there, and part of that is positioning based. So again, I'm in my Sumo deadlift stance. Chest is tall, arms are long, keep my lats tight, and I'm going to pull the bar back into me just a little bit and then stand tall. And as I do that, the chains are going to come off the ground, and that's going to force me to use my glutes a little bit more to meet the bar. So big breath here. Again. Okay. So as you can tell, as I did that, the chains came off the ground, and I was able to maintain my position, drive my hips through, and work on that and not have to pull all the way from the floor. So why would you use an exercise like this? We've already talked about developing lockout and positional strength. From a programming perspective, if you're a conjugate person, this could be your dynamic effort wave. So you can definitely do this, program it off some percentages and pull for speed, and that's going to let you focus a little bit more on that transitional piece and making sure you stay in a good position. The other part, you can use it as your max effort movement for the day. So work up to like a 1 to 2 rep max. Maybe leave just a tad in the tank, because it will be pretty stressful on you being a big deadlift based movement. But again, work up to that 1 to 2 rep max and track how that compares to some of your other variations that are similar to this and to your deadlift. And you can use that to track your progress over time, but also focus on just particular pieces of your deadlift if you're not having to pull from the floor all the time, which for many of you can be a great way to save your hips and put some longevity into your training. And lastly, if you're not a conjugate person, that's okay. This is just going to be a way to develop positional awareness and the lockout portion of your deadlift with a Sumo stance. So you're going to use this for like 2 to 3 sets of probably like 2 to 3 reps, maybe even some singles, leaving some reps in the tank, and really focusing on making sure you keep the bar in close, that when you get here, you're going to make sure you drive your hips forward, and that as you pass the knee, everything stays good and smooth. You don't get rounded, you don't get forward on your toes, and you're using your glutes to meet the bar and not trying to bring your back to it. So that's the exercise here, Sumo deadlift off the blocks versus chains. If you got any questions, please feel free to leave me those questions in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.